But I almost feel like I was branded with being the weird kid. Okay, now I can't care about anything. So my life just became like, I can't care about things that normal people care about because that's my brand. We don't give ourselves permission often enough to stop and question certain things. Like I've had so many labels throughout my life that now I have to kind of detach myself from that label. Like I woke up in the middle of the night, like these two people, they were just like on top of me. And they were like, you're coming with us. Like if you try to run, we will handcuff you. So it's your prerogative if you want to go in cuffs or if you're just gonna voluntarily like come with us. I realized at a really young age that you don't get to decide what happens to you. One, things don't happen to you, they happen for you too, but you only get to decide how you react to certain situations. Or like you just have to know that you have a good heart and you're living your life through compassion, or like you're showing compassion and you're having like patience with people, and that you actually have good intention, because what you put out into the world will come back tenfold, always.
Yes, welcome to a new episode of the podcast Muscle Up. This is episode 5 already. Thanks for the listeners, for all the support. If you don't follow us yet on Spotify, please follow us, because I think only 10 to 15% of you is following us. So follow us to stay up to date with the latest episode. And yeah, I would say let's start. My name is Mees Jansen.
My name is Jimmy Stoner.
And today we're not alone. We are with
Cristina Becker.
Welcome, welcome. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good.
How are you doing, Jim?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's a pretty random day today. This podcast was also not scheduled because you were just helping me with the social media and stuff. And it's like, yeah, well, your story is also quite interesting. You want to do a podcast? Yeah, sure, we could. After lunch? Yeah, that's fast, but okay. And now we're sitting here. So day's fucking random, but I like it. It's going well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair.
a bit of a random day, as you said. But yeah, trained this morning, took an ice bath,
Nice.
worked a bit, and now we're doing a podcast.
Yes. Yeah, man.
How is your day going?
It was good, pretty random as well. It feels a bit odd to be sitting here because obviously it wasn't planned. But yeah, I tried boxing this morning for the first time, and then ice bath, lunch, and now we're here.
Nice.
How did the boxing go?
It was good. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah,
Nice.
we'll see. I plan on getting very good at it, but we'll see how it
We'll
goes.
see. Yeah.
You should talk to Debbie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to her, the place that she goes.
Soraya.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should be scared of her, though.
I've seen some of her videos. She's very good.
Yes, she's fucking good. She fights with Infusion. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. Yeah. No, I actually saw you in the gym this morning as well, doing boxing. It took a lot of time for me to notice you because she was waving so hard, man, and I was walking by. Literally, it was 1 meter apart. I was like, something's happening in the corner of mine. I looked at the left. I was, hey. Totally in my own world.
The same with me, actually, a few days ago.
Yeah.
You said, like, oh, I tried to wave at you, but you didn't see me.
I was really like, okay, bye. Have a good day.
No, I didn't see anything. I think I was in my own world.
It's okay.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Yeah, I think a lot of people can already hear something about your English. It's fucking good because it's your mother language, I think.
My English?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was
Yeah.
born in the US, so
You're born
I would
in
hope
the
so.
US. Yeah. And you just arrived in Bali as well, right?
About maybe a little under a week ago.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And you've got no idea how long you're staying?
No.
Why'd you go here?
I don't know, like just Bali in general. I just feel very grounded in Bali. I don't feel like a lot of societal rules apply in Bali. So,
Could you
I
name
prefer
some
the
examples?
for example, I can walk barefoot anywhere I want. If I want to go like to the grocery store or when I go to get my nails done, you always take your shoes off before going inside. If I'm eating a meal and I want to like lick my fingers, like in society that's not allowed. But here it's just like you're just a human being allowed to do normal human being things.
You feel like that's a thing we put pressure on in Western society?
I think in Western society, yeah, there's in every aspect of life, there's very specific rules that you follow. And if you lean at all outside of that box, you're considered like weird or kind of like an outcast.
Maybe before we get further into it, because our listeners probably don't know who you are, or maybe they do. But let's start with the question: who are you and what do you do?
Okay, so my name's Cristina. I am 23 years old. And basically, I just trade and I send people what I'm trading for them to be able to like profit off of. In that journey, I just kind of built up my brand, and I say it was on accident. But I think like obviously it was very intentional what I did to get to where I am. But it definitely wasn't the course that I came into this industry thinking that I was going to end up in this position, if that makes sense. But on a baseline, that's where I'm at in life.
What do you trade?
Gold. I only trade gold, and I trade a little bit of Bitcoin.
Why those specifics?
They're just more volatile. Like I stay away from crypto because crypto is super volatile. I don't trade stocks. My mom actually trades stocks because I like brought her into the space. And with Forex pairs, like normal pairs, I just think that they move quite slowly. Whereas with gold, because it's more volatile, I have the ability to make quicker money in a shorter period of time.
Okay.
So.
But you could also lose more money, right?
This is true, but this is where risk management comes into play. So like as long as you have your stop loss, like the trade will stop you out at a certain point and you always follow your risk management, like you're never gonna run into that issue, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think for some people it does. I'm totally not familiar in this world, but stop loss means like at a certain point when it hits a certain low, you set an assignment that it sells, right?
No, so like there's three different points that you have. You have the entry price, the take profit price, and then the stop loss price. So the entry price is obviously the price at which you are entering the market.
Okay.
The take profit price is the price at which it's going to take you out of the market in profit.
Okay.
And the stop loss price is where it's going to stop you out at a loss.
Okay. Yeah. Get it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Most people, well, I don't know if you want to know this, but I'll say it anyways. Most people, they think that like, or they'll ask me, I get this question a lot, like what is the win rate percentage of the signal room or the idea room? And the win rate percentage doesn't actually matter because I know a lot of people that are like 6 and 7 figure traders and they lose majority more trades than they actually win, but they're profitable because of their risk management. So the trades that they're winning, they're way more profitable than the trades that they're actually losing.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. I actually want to go continue with the society part because that's more interesting to me, but I'll leave the word to you if you want to.
No, continue. We can go back to this subject later in the podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
You told about the pressure that is put on certain behavior in Western society, and that if you're outside of this behavior, you get put into a box or you're a really fast, weird person. It sounds like you have experience.
Like experience of being felt like I was put into a box, or like how do you mean?
Yeah, or you felt like people thought you were weird.
Yes, I do think. I mean, obviously, you have like the societal structure that is given regardless of like where you are in the world. You know, you like go to school, you go to university, you get a job, like the normal box that society just puts you in, and you're just supposed to follow that. And I never felt like I was always the kid in school that was in detention. You know, I was always. I don't really know why I ended up like that. I think it's because at such a young age, I went through such a magnitude of experiences that people just looked at me like I was odd. And I was like, if you're going to look at me like I'm odd, I'm just going to be odd because I actually like my life better that way. But yeah, I think it like the shift that really happened for me is that I like because I went to rehab when I was 15. And I was very vocal about it. Going to a Christian school, a lot of people had a lot of opinions about it. So that just kind of set the pace for how I lived my life and how much I really didn't care what people had to say about me because of the perspective shift I had because of that experience and because of what people said and thought about me also because of that experience.
Yeah, it's a lot of information, a lot of things I want to continue on. But firstly, I wanted to say, like, you didn't care at a certain point. You made a shift, like, I don't give a shit, and I'm just going to be vocal even if I'm weird, right? But now you said, like, I can do anything I want here, and people don't think I'm weird. So there is a piece of you that cares, I think.
Who cares about what specifically?
That people think you're weird, that you get put into a box. I mean, there has to be a certain part where you're like, okay, I don't like it, or yeah, I want to move somewhere else where people don't think I'm weird. Or
I don't think it's necessarily that I care about that specifically, but it can be very like lonely when you feel misunderstood.
okay,
Does that make sense?
yeah, it does make sense indeed. Yeah, yeah, definitely makes sense. If you go back to that period of time, what would you say was the hardest part?
Just like rehab or
Yeah, like where you firstly felt different or put into a box or lonely.
I almost feel this is so odd. Like, this is such an interesting question, but I almost feel like I was branded with being the weird kid. So, for example, I went to a Christian school, and there wasn't a uniform that you necessarily had to wear, but you had to be modest, right? So, like, you could wear jeans, but you couldn't wear, like, leggings, or you couldn't wear sweatpants because it was
Inappropriate.
like, not that sweatpants are inappropriate, but you're just dressed down.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So obviously, like, people that dress better, they perform better because they feel better about themselves. So, like, the school had this dress code. And me just being this, like, I'm not going to follow the rules. Like, you can't make me follow the rules. I bought these. Do you know what, like, hammer pants are?
Yeah, like the really baggy shit.
Yeah, so I basically bought, like, these hammer pants, but they were, like, hippie hammer pants.
Yeah, so with all colors and stuff.
Yeah, like a bunch of colors, like they hung really low. And I started wearing this to school because it's like, you can't tell me not to wear this because it's so out of left field that it would be like personal discrimination towards me. And obviously, like, they couldn't tell me not to wear pants like that. So because I was wearing those pants, people were like, oh, you know, Cristina just, like, really doesn't care what people think. And they really branded me like that. So I was like, okay, now I can't care about anything. So my life just became like, I can't care about things that normal people care about because that's my brand. But then I kind of enjoyed it because I realized that I liked living that way more than following societal norms, if that makes sense.
It does. Where does that behavior come from to not follow rules?
Like, the root of where it comes from, I don't know. Like, I think like maybe certain things happened in my life where I felt like betrayed, so I started lashing out. And then again, it just kind of, like, that's just who I ended up being. But I don't know, like, if there was one specific moment where I was just like, this is the switch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And does that behavior comes back now still? Is it still there?
What specific behavior?
That, like, you feel like not following the rules or being different or dressing weird or?
I think that a bit of that is still in me. But I think a lot of, like, really truly finding, like, your true self is not necessarily, like, learning what you need to learn, but unlearning all of these things that you learned as a kid.
Oh, wow. That's a whole new perspective.
Does that make sense?
It could make sense. Yeah, I've never thought about it. It's interesting. What do you think?
I don't know, but I think unlearning things you've already, like, learned is more difficult than learning new things.
I think it's a combination. I'm going to be the gray in this conversation because I think some norms and values are really important and you're not going to unlearn them, but you maybe are going to unlearn some things that society has put on you, which you don't like, and start developing new things. So I think it's a combination of both.
I mean, I think you always have to develop new things, of course, but I don't think we give ourselves permission often enough to stop and, like, question things that we have thought or things that we have done throughout our life.
What?
Like, of course, like, the point is to go and experience and to go learn new things, but we don't give ourselves permission often enough to stop and question certain things.
Because we're too scared or too sheep?
Yeah, or we're just like, this is just how it is, like this is who I am. But is it really, or is that like
What society has put upon you.
yeah, or what you've put on yourself?
Could also be, yeah. Yeah. And if you look now, like, I think we're all still in this journey, or, in this journey to figure ourselves out, who are we and what do we stand for. I think we'll be in this journey till death. But if we go into your life right now, do you think you figured out who you are and what you like and don't like?
I think I have a lot of compassion and a lot of grace for who I am, but I don't think there's like an end goal.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like I said, it's a thing that constantly shifts, right? So who is Cristina now?
I just consider myself in a period of just evolution, like letting some things go and just like kind of allowing myself to flow in life, because like I've had so many labels throughout my life that now I have to kind of detach myself from that label. So I honestly don't feel like I could confidently tell you like this is who Cristina is, because now I'm getting to a point in my life where I'm questioning everything that I've believed and everything about who I am.
And are you happy with that thought?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I feel very free. I feel like how I was talking earlier about how society puts you in a box. I put myself in a box, and I'm now letting myself out of that box.
Out of every box.
Yeah, and giving myself permission to do so.
Mm-hmm. I've heard a lot of things from all our guests that we had in the podcast in Bali, especially, that they all say, get rid of the boxes. But yet, everyone is in a box. Do you think it is because of society that we think in boxes, or do you think it's nature?
It all comes down to labels. So, like, obviously, you're always going to be in a certain box, but there's no one right or wrong box. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like you need to leave your box. Like, especially in the entrepreneurship space, I see a lot of people that they're just like, oh, the 9 to 5. Like, they just talk so much trash about the 9 to 5. And obviously, I have my own opinions about it, but it's just like, even if you become an entrepreneur, like that itself, regardless of what it is you're pursuing entrepreneurship in, it's still a box.
Yeah, true.
So I think that people have the necessity to like have labels, like be labeled, because then they can classify you.
Yeah, I think it comes from control, actually. Wanting to have control as a human being.
You mentioned that you were in rehab. Obviously, we've read your story on your Instagram. What was the reason you went there?
So the main reason that I went there is because I was running from... No. The main reason that I went there is because my mom was really afraid. And obviously, at the time of this happening, like, I was very upset at her, but I got to the point where... Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Can you ask the question again?
What was the reason you got sent to rehab?
Okay, I'll backtrack. Again, the reason I got sent to rehab is because my mom was just afraid. But I was running from the law a lot. Like, I was sneaking out of the house. At the time, I was dating someone that was a bit older than me, and he was selling drugs, like, obviously just not in a good crowd. I started dabbling in drugs myself. And again, it just comes down to my mom being afraid, which now I support the decision. Like, I have a lot of compassion for my mom because that decision was really hard for her. But she did it from the heart. So, like, a lot of times when people ask me, like, how's your relationship with your parents now? And I know this, like, isn't a question that you asked, but the relationship with my mom, I cannot hold it. I can never hold something against someone who does something with the best intention at heart. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the relationship that I have with my dad is obviously a bit different, but yeah.
And the reason you went to rehab, it was because your mom was scared of you entering up on the wrong track?
Yeah, I think she was just afraid. Like, obviously, environment plays a big role in who you become. So the more time that you spend in an environment with people,
Exactly, yeah.
like, that's how you're going to end up, usually.
And then you went to rehab. What did you do? What does it look like? And did it do you any good?
Maybe before you tell that, tell us how you got there. Because I think you got kidnapped. Your mom hired someone to kidnap you. Tell us, how did that go?
It's so crazy because like the entire rehab experience is so crazy because no matter how in depth I tried to explain it to people, unless you were actually there and unless you actually had that experience for yourself, it's just unexplainable. But basically I got what we call getting gooned. And my mom hired a company to basically come kidnap me in the middle of the night.
Is that even, how is that?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Is that legal?
Now, a lot of these rehab facilities and like these kidnapping companies are like getting wiped because that's just crazy. But the stories that I heard were insane. Like I know a lot of kids, because I don't think it's legal in Europe, but they would like tell their kids like, we're going to go to Disney World, and the plane would land and the goons would be there and they would take the kid to rehab.
Holy fuck.
It's crazy. But yeah, this story is so crazy. So basically I woke up. I don't know how much detail you want, but that night, because all of it, because I had been like running away and stuff, and the relationship that I had with my mom was like very shaky. At the time, I was actually on my period, and my mom was like, "Oh, like just lay with me tonight. Like I'm gonna rub your tummy, like." And at that time, I was like, "That's really weird because like we don't get along. So why are you offering this?" So we fell asleep on the couch together. And I basically, like, I woke up in the middle of the night, like, these two people, they were just, like, on top of me. And they were like, "You're coming with us. Like, if you try to run, like, we will handcuff you. So it's your prerogative if you want to go in cuffs or if you're just going to voluntarily, like, come with us."
Where was your mom at this time?
My mom was, like, top of the stairs. She was just like, "I love you." Like, I could tell that she was trying not to cry. And she's just like, "I love you, but, like, this is what's best for you." So in that time, I was like, okay, like, this is planned. Like, I'm not actually getting kidnapped. So I had a sense of, like, a little bit of peace. So I just asked, it was one woman and one man. And I basically asked the woman, I was like, "Hey, I'm on my period." Because they told me that I couldn't take anything. They're like, "You're going in the clothes that you're in now. Like, we're going out the door." And I was like, "Can I shower? Like, can I, do what I need to do?" So we went up to shower. She actually got in the shower with me, and I showered, put my clothes back on, and they took me outside to the Jeep. They had the child lock on. So they put me in the back of the Jeep. Basically, the Jeep was locked. We drove to the Omaha airport because I'm from Nebraska. So we drove like an hour to the Omaha airport. We flew to Vegas, and then from Vegas, we drove to Utah, which is where my rehab was. And later I found out that the goons, like the kidnappers, actually had a map of my entire house. So if I ran, they would know exactly where to get me. They were in contact with the police station, so if they had to call, it was no problem. And they weren't responding to my mom when we were driving from Lincoln to Omaha. It's like an hour drive. She actually thought that they were like kidnapping me for real and they were gonna take me to Mexico. Like she was like freaking out a bit. But it was all good, and I'm still alive, so it's fine. But yeah.
It sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that your own mom would hire people to kidnap you. Maybe did you get any like trust issues after that?
Not really, because again, it goes back to like, I mean, obviously I had trust issues, like just because of things that happened in my life. And maybe that did create a bit of a subconscious, like, thing in my mind. But at the end of the day, like, I knew that was so hard for her. So like, I knew that she wasn't ever going to put me in harm's way. Like I knew that she wanted what was best for me, even if I didn't agree with her. Mm-hmm. So.
Did you know that immediately, like she's doing it from a good part of her heart, or did you first think like, why does she do this to me?
I knew from the beginning. My mom is just like, she's just such an amazing person, and like even back then I knew that, but I don't know. Like I just knew she wasn't doing it like because she wanted to hurt me or she wanted me, like she was just afraid. That's it. And I don't think that I was doing anything, like I didn't have a lot of freedom. She was very controlling. Like she played a lot of emotional games with us. Like I would almost say emotional abuse, but she wasn't doing it on purpose. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, but she, like in her heart, I always knew she was a good person. So it's just like, I'll take the experience.
Can you give an example of like an emotional game she played on you?
I don't know.
I find it hard to imagine how that goes.
Maybe we'll have to circle back. I might have to think on it.
That's okay.
I feel like emotional abuse is a lot harder to pinpoint than physical, abuse.
Because it's over a longer period of time. And it's not one specific thing, I
Yeah.
think. But the first question that gets into my mind is, how was your mom raised? Because I think certain behavior should come from something.
100%. Obviously, I can only speak from what I've been told because I wasn't there because I wasn't born. But I know like she had a tough relationship with her mom as well. And obviously, like for a woman, having a tough relationship with your mom doesn't allow you to develop as a woman fully, if that makes sense. Like there's certain things that you should learn from your mom as a woman.
Of course, yeah.
And I don't think that she had that, but I think that there was definitely maybe some abuse like in her own childhood, but she never like labeled it as abuse.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Exactly. All right, and if we fast forward to the rehab, you came there in Utah.
Yeah, so
What happened?
So I got to Utah, and basically we actually became friends, like me and these two kidnappers, because I take everything in life. I don't know why I'm this way, but everything in life, I'm just like, this is an experience. So I'm like, if I'm going through this anyways, like, let's talk. So they were telling me about their families. Like one of them flipped like, this is so irrelevant, but one of them did like antique jewelry stuff. And she was like showing me like all the antiques and stuff. So we became friends throughout this journey, but obviously I was really young, so I've never like heard from them again. But basically I got to, it was called Wingate. It was a wilderness rehabilitation. So they took me there and they basically said like, okay, these people are gonna deal with you from like here on out. We're gonna leave now. Like best of luck to you. Cause obviously they've done it before. So they like know what's gonna happen. And I'm just like, okay. So I go into this room and I just like take everything off. And there's one girl with me, and I actually still talk to her to this day. She was a staff member there. I took everything off, and she gave me like 2 orange t-shirts, just like cheap t-shirts, maybe 2 pairs of shorts, and like underwear from like the kids aisle in like Target, you know, like little like pink hearts on it, whatever. We put it in a bag. I also got a pot to like cook in. I got 2 canteens for water. And I think that's it. So we packed all that stuff. I took any piercings that I had in out, like all my bracelets and everything off. We got in a car and we drove for like maybe like an hour into the middle of the desert. Like, I don't know if you guys know how Utah is, but it's just desert. Like there's nothing. So we drove out into the middle of nowhere and they're just like, okay, like get out of the car. And I'm like, we're literally in the middle of freaking nowhere. And I get out of the car and they open the trunk so I can get my bag out. And they suey. You know, like for pigs, like how they're like, suey? I don't know if you guys, okay.
Oh,
I don't know.
Well, they suey for pigs, like, so irrelevant. Anyways, they sueyed. And maybe like 5 seconds later, this dirty, like the dirtiest person I've ever seen in my whole life comes running out of the middle of nowhere. And I was like, there's no way they're about to leave me here. Like, this is insane. They did. So I went and I met, there was like maybe a group of like 8 girls. I went and like, I met them all. I wish I could pinpoint like what I felt in that moment. I think I was just kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like, I didn't know it existed. Like, it's just I've just been kidnapped. Like, now you're dumping me in the middle of nowhere. Like, what is going on? So I just kind of meet the girls. And then it happened to be the day that like therapists come around and they make their rounds. So my therapist shows up and she's like, how do you feel? She's like, if there's one thing you could say to your mom, like, what would it be? And I just remember sitting, like I was sitting crisscross applesauce, and I just started yelling. I was like, fuck you. Like, and I think that was the only time that I ever felt like angry, because I didn't know what was happening. Do you know? So I was like really more afraid than anything. And obviously like my mom wasn't there. So I was just like, you've literally just dumped me in the desert. Like, what is going on? But yeah, after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. Like, per 4 people in a group, you have one staff. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
I can't imagine. You've just been kidnapped. You got dropped into a desert. You've got a therapy session just in the middle of nowhere. You're fucking mad and scared. And yeah, after that it was just pretty easy sailing. And yeah, it went pretty nice. I was like, what the fuck? How?
The thing is, like, I
can't.
You don't get to, I realized at a really young age that you don't get to decide what happens to you. 1, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. 2, but you only get to decide how you react to certain situations.
True.
So I was like, if I'm out here, like, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? No devices, like no rules. Everything out there was based on natural consequences. So there's so many details. After that day I found out, like, in order to cook, you have to, we call it busting, but you have to make fire with wood. So you go to a tree and you take the bark off. You make a nest, like you make very fine whatever, and you put the coal in it, you blow it up, and you have to do that every single time that you want to eat. But that day, I remember them being like, you don't have silverware, like you have to make a spoon. So we went to a tree and we basically like cut the twig off. And I wasn't on like watch duty because I wasn't suicidal. So I was able to use a knife, and I like carved out this spoon. And that's what I used the entire time I was in rehab. It was this little wooden spoon that I had carved out of this tree.
Do you still have it?
Yeah. And I ended up making one for my mom and my stepdad as well, like closer to the end of my journey there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole point of like wilderness rehabilitation and why it's different from regular like facility rehab is because it's all natural consequences. So Monday through Friday, you hike. They give you a different location to hike to every day, and you have to hike because it has your water. So if you refuse to hike, like you have no water. Yeah. And there were times when some girls chose not to hike, but that's basically how it was. Like, it was all natural consequences. So it's like you get to choose kind of how your life is out here.
It's this or you die. I mean,
yeah.
Whoa. I also didn't know it existed.
Crazy.
And would you say it helped?
Like, helped in what way?
Helped in being in a better surrounding, helped in following rules, helped in, I don't know, personal development. Did the concerns of your mom, did they go away after you were back because you became more normal according to society?
I don't think me going there solved the problem that my mom wanted it to solve.
Okay.
But it definitely gave me, again, that sense of compassion for myself that she wanted me to have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does.
So all the internal reasons she sent me there, it like, I got to explore and experience that, but like the external reasons, you know.
Yeah. So when you came back from rehab, did you fell back into old habits, or were you also still like, I don't want to be in a box, I don't want any labels, I'm gonna behave like you did?
So basically, when I came back from rehab, I really felt like I was still kind of getting that same treatment from my mom as I had before I left. So I was like, I've just gone through this crazy experience and you're treating me like the girl before. Like, that's so unfair of you to do that. So I went to live with my dad, and I hadn't seen my dad in like 3 years because my dad was physically abusive. So I went to live with my dad. Basically, my dad got drunk one night. Like, he was a super huge alcoholic. He got drunk one night. I already had a concussion. I slammed my head on like the front of the car, and we were on a highway. So I just opened the door and jumped out and just took off running.
Why?
'Cause I don't know. I guess I just didn't want to be in that situation. So I
Being
was
in
like,
the car?
just being, we were arguing and he's drunk. And like, obviously I've been abused before. So it's just like, if I feel unsafe, I'm going to remove myself from that situation. So yeah, I left. I had gone home. It's like the order in which things happen. I basically sat under a tree for like an hour and a half, and the cops were calling me and they were like, your dad has said that you've like run away, like whatever, like you need to come back to the house. So I go back to the house and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back. Like, you guys need to meet me there because you need to test him. Like, he's been driving with kids in the car and he's drunk, like, you know? So I get to the house and I get in the shower and I've packed a suitcase because I've decided that I'm leaving. Like, I'm not gonna be mistreated. This is insane. So I get in the shower and I hear the doorbell ring and the cop shows up and he's like talking to my dad, whatever. And the cop leaves while I'm in the shower. They didn't check on me. Like, they didn't care. So I grabbed my suitcase and I was like, oh, who was that? And he was like, oh, it's the police, whatever. And I go outside with my suitcase and I called the cops and I'm just like, honestly, fuck you guys. Like, you say you care so much about us and like you wanted me to come back to the house and you didn't even drug test him. Like, you didn't even check on me. And they were like, oh, we can send somebody back. And I was like, no, just like leave it. So that night I had someone come pick me up. I slept at her house and then I went to live with my brother in his dorm for like maybe a week. And then my dad was like, if you don't kick her out, like, we're going to call the college and tell them that she's there with you. So at that point I had just finished paying off my car. So I borrowed $500 from my brother because I had no money. I borrowed $500 to plate my car and I just moved in my car. So yeah, that's how I ended up in my car.
What a crazy story.
Okay, so we've had a lot of people telling stories in the podcast, and normally I can pinpoint certain things and go into this, go into that, but this is just overwhelming. Holy fuck.
First, I want to go back to the rehab. I have a few questions still about that.
Go on.
You said you, from a very early age, you had a mindset of like, everything is an experience and like yeah, you don't.
Yeah. It happens. And
It happens to you.
You can only decide your reaction.
Yeah. How did you come to this mindset so early in life?
How did I come to this mindset so early in life? Is that the full question?
Yes. I have other questions as well,
Yeah.
but start with this one.
I don't know, like, I couldn't tell you the exact moment to pinpoint it, but when I was 13, my parents got divorced, and my mom, like, she just went a little bit crazy, and obviously I'm gonna be careful, like, what I say, because it's not really my story to tell, and obviously I don't want to, like air her trash on the internet, but she was just kind of going through her own journey, and I think because of that journey and me being there at such a vulnerable and young age, like, I just kind of adopted, like, it doesn't matter how much you want it to work out. It doesn't matter how, like, perfect you try to be. It doesn't matter how much you try to, like, make other people happy and please other people. Like, just, like, go with the flow, you know? Take life for what it is. Learn what you can. Like, have a good heart. Be kind to people. Have compassion. Like, show grace. Like, whatever. But other than that, like, it's just experience. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I answer your question, sort
So
of?
it's because you experienced a lot at the young age.
I just
think from experience.
Like, I think my mom experienced it first, and I almost, like, experienced it through her.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then I just, like, went crazy.
But I think that not all people would react the same as you. I don't think not all people could have the same mindset, especially at that age.
This is true. I think that one of the things that I will say that my mom specifically did very well is she made us very self-sufficient from a very young age, which is really interesting because how can you make someone so self-sufficient and then try to control them? Do you know what I'm saying? When you make them self-sufficient and then they try to be self-sufficient, even with things that aren't necessarily, like, wrong. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, no, stop, like, you can't do that. But you built this. Like, you wanted me to be like this, and now that it's not unfolding the way that you wanted it to, like, you can't go back now, you know? But yeah, I think a lot of that goes back to just the way my mom raised us and making us extremely self-sufficient. Because I have 2 siblings. One of them is 2 years older than me, my brother, Daniel. And my little sister, Susanna, she's 6 years younger than me. And me and my brother are very similar in that way, like very self-sufficient. And my sister's very self-sufficient as well. I would say more self-sufficient than most people, but not as self-sufficient as us, because she was kind of caught in the middle when my parents got divorced. So she was raised a little bit differently than me and my brother were.
Oh yeah.
Are you religious?
I would say I'm spiritual, but I'm not, like, obviously I stated that I went to a Christian school, which is interesting because, like, my dad says he's Christian, but he doesn't really, like, you know?
Yeah.
And my mom's not, like, my mom was raised Catholic, but she's not really Christian. Like, she's not Christian either. I would say I'm more spiritual, and I've always lived my life off of the basis, like, oh, the universe. Like, I've just been like, I received from the universe and all of this stuff. Lately, I have been more like, the universe is obviously the creation. So, like, where's the creator? I'm a very big, like, we are all energy. So I don't know. So, like, currently in my life, I'm really, I wouldn't say struggling, but I'm very involving myself in that conversation of, like, God versus, like, love versus energy versus universe conversation.
Philosophy.
Do you think that spirituality had played a role in developing this mindset?
What mindset?
Like the mindset that it doesn't matter, things overcome you, and you can't do anything about it. Like the I'm not sure how to say it exactly in English, but
Yeah, I do, because I think that I was not afraid. Do you know? Because I always, not that I, like, think that I'm better than people or have this, like, crazy complex, but I was always just like, I'm protected. Like, even before I was successful, like, my friends were just like, Cristina is just so protected. Like, anything she does is just like everything works out in her favor. It's crazy. So I think like having that level of belief in just like everything is happening for me versus like it's happening to me and I'm this victim, like, yeah, I guess played a part.
Okay, I want to continue the story.
I still have a question about the rehab.
All of this is in like like a year's worth of time.
Yeah, that's
so it's like
crazy.
It's been a crazy year for you.
It was.
You said in the rehab you had to like hike for your water, and there were some girls who refused to hike. What happened? Didn't they get any water?
No, they died.
Yeah, because you were in the middle of the desert, you say. I think it might be a bit dangerous also.
The thing is, like, I mean, obviously they're not going to leave us to die. Like,
I would hope so.
I would hope, but I don't know. Obviously, we never got to that point to kind of find out what would happen. I don't think any of the girls would have been mentally strong enough to handle not going without water for a certain amount of time anyways. But it is a team effort. So like there were times, a lot of it is just like emotional regulation. So there was times when, or emotional regulation. There was times when like girls would choose not to hike and we're just there, like we've packed up our entire camp and now you don't want to leave. So it's like we either have to unpack or like, so we're angry and we're just sitting there. Like, it doesn't matter if we go talk to her. She's just refusing to hike because she's just got here and she's pissed, or something happened and she's pissed, or she got a letter from her parents and she's pissed, like whatever it is. So we would just sit there and like talk to each other and like braid each other's hair, make bracelets or play games. Like we had like notebooks and we made a deck of cards. So we would just like play cards out of these like pieces of paper. I actually still have that deck of cards. But yeah, you just learn to regulate your emotions, because what are you going to do? Like, you getting upset and giving into that emotion, it's not going to make her hike. I got upset one time. I gave in and I just dragged her. I was like, there's no way. Like, we're literally mid-hike and she sat down. So we actually have no water. Like, there's no water supply. And we were on a mountain. So I was like, no problem. So I just grabbed her and just started like dragging her down the mountain. But again, it didn't, like, it doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? Maybe it makes me feel a little bit better that I have a little bit of control, but like, for what? So after that, I just kind of let it be.
I think a lot of people nowadays could use this sort of rehabilitation, because
I agree.
it's like everything in this world plays into your emotions, and people nowadays have a really hard time regulating their emotions. Maybe that's also the cause of a lot of burnouts or depression. I'm not stating this as a fact, it's just what I think. But if we continue, you lived in your car at a certain point, and you lived there for 2 years, right?
Can I have another question?
About the rehab still?
I want to continue this because what you said, I think it's good that I think it would be good for a lot of people in this society to go through something like this, because there are also a lot of people who don't think about the consequences when they do something. So I want to know what's your opinion on like these natural consequences, like if you're not hiking, you're just not getting water, and yeah. What do you think about it? Do you think that's good that people go through something like that?
Yeah, I do. It's really hard though, because I actually agree how you said that everybody should go through this type of experience. It's really hard to apply this in like a society. Like, how do you apply natural consequences in society? Do you know what I'm saying? It's very difficult.
Exactly, yeah. We're too developed.
Yeah. I will say, because there's multiple groups within this like rehabilitation called Wingate, like you have multiple groups of girls and you have groups of guys, but you don't mix. And there's other girls. There was one time where we crossed paths, and I actually still have a scar from it. We were playing a game and I fell, whatever. But we got some of their social media, so we kept in touch after we got out of rehab. And it's interesting because they have a very different view of their experience. Like, they had not good things to say about their experience. But our group, like all the girls that I was in a group with, we even have, I don't use Snapchat anymore, but we have a group chat on Snapchat, and we all still talk to each other all the time. I actually went to visit one of them a couple years ago, like, because when you go through something like that to that extent, like even you guys listening to it now, you're like, what is going on? But like actually living through it, like you cannot ever recreate that emotion or like that feeling to anybody. So it's like, I mean, we'll probably be in contact and be friends literally forever. But I think the experience that we had there was very unique. So I guess to go back to your question, it's just really hard to pinpoint. Like, yeah. But I think the reason I like Bali so much is because it's the closest thing that brings me back to that feeling.
But you like that feeling, I think.
Yeah.
Why do you think the other group has such a different experience?
Just like a victim mentality.
Exactly. How you dealt with the situation. It happens for you, and you only have the control to react, or how you are going to react. That's why I also pinpointed it. Like, I think not all people have this mindset because their parents got divorced. I think it has some other core, like you said. Your mom really raised you self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient.
Exactly. So I think that plays a big part. I mean, if you got spoiled and you get everything from your parents and you got dropped into this, yeah.
It's really like I don't want to like veer off topic, but it's interesting because I definitely think that some people are born with certain things. So it's like it's very hard to pinpoint. Like, this is what, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the nature-nurture discussion, I think.
If we go back to the story, I think you want to go back to the story.
The car?
Yeah.
Okay, a car.
Okay, go on.
You're living in your car.
Just before you were living in your car, you were living with your dad. You said he was abusive. Why did you decide to live with him anyway?
Because when you go through an experience of that magnitude, and not that it was my mom's fault, but it's like you have chosen to send me there so that I can change and I can become a better person. A better person, you know. And now that I've changed and I've done all that work, for me to come back and you still have the same like framework of how you were treating me, like that's unfair. Do you know what I mean? And I think like, do I think that I probably could have swallowed my pride a bit and just let it go? 100%. But I did have that rebellion in me. And I was self-sufficient. So I was like, now I know that I can do whatever the hell I want. Because before I already knew, like I've always lived by the fact of like all the rules are fake. They're actually all fake. Like when you dig deep into like society and all these, again, like the boxes that we follow, it's fake. Like, and when you realize that at such a young age, it's so dangerous because you're like, nothing applies to me. That's so dangerous at such a young age. So I think because I was in that mentality so much, I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, I'd rather live with my dad. And I think I just kind of forgot how bad it was because I hadn't been with him for so long. Yeah.
Did you blame your mom?
For what part?
Falling back into this framework?
For what?
Falling back into this framework, still behaving you the same?
No, because at first, yes, but not really, because that was the experience that I went through.
True. And this is the only thing she knows. This is the only framework she has.
Yeah.
And I don't think she had anyone else around her who could. Maybe some rehab would also be good for her, or some coaching, or some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think you could blame her either. No. Can we go to the car part?
Yes.
Okay, so you listened to your into your car for, what was it, 2 years you said, right?
Yeah. So from like 16 to 18.
16 to 18, how was that?
I loved it. Which is so crazy. Again, just like every experience in my life, I'm just like, oh my God, just here for the ride. But no, I loved it. Like, again, no rules, like nobody to tell me what to do. I could come and go as I pleased. Like, I've always been a very minimalistic individual. So just being in my car, it's just like, you just need the basics. Like, you don't have anything to stress you out. Like, I wake up in front of some random person's house in a neighborhood, go to the gym, shower, go to school, go to detention because I was late to school, and like, live my life, go to work. I was working 3 jobs at the time. So it's not that I didn't have money, but I couldn't sign a lease because I wasn't legally emancipated. Emancipation's like, emancipation is? Maybe not in English. Emancipation's like when you're legally like your own guardian.
Okay, yeah.
Because you weren't 18 yet.
Yeah, so like when you're 18, you're your own guardian. Yeah. But I was 16 at the time, so I couldn't sign papers because I was a minor. Yeah. So because I didn't go through the court system to get legally emancipated, like I wasn't allowed to obviously rent out any apartment or anything, which is fine. I honestly didn't mind. When COVID came around, I kind of went like back and forth between my brother's house and my car a bit, because when COVID came around, all of the gas stations and gyms and everything started to close early. So if I worked at this high-end restaurant, and they had these like to-go soup containers, and they were plastic. So it's like, even if they got wet, like they wouldn't leak. And when the gas stations and stuff would close, and it was like the middle of the night, I would literally pee in that container in the back of my car and just throw it out the window. But again, like these are just like, I don't mind. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't mind. And I think after the rehab experience, like peeing outside and like showering and shitting outside and just like kind of living like an animal, like I didn't mind too much. So, yeah.
I can imagine. And yeah, of course. Now, I can't imagine, or I can't relate, but I can imagine.
Yeah.
Did you finish school?
Huh?
Did you finish school?
High school.
Yeah.
Yes. I actually graduated early.
Okay.
So no, just kidding. I almost didn't graduate. Like my grades were always not good. I failed algebra maybe like 3 or 4 times, algebra 2. I was so bad at math. And I ended up switching schools. So I switched from that Christian school to a public, bigger high school because I made the varsity show choir team because I really wanted to sing. Like that was always my passion. And because I made varsity, I switched schools. Varsity is like the highest level of whatever in public school. So I switched schools, and because that school had block scheduling, so block scheduling is like, instead of taking 8 classes in a day, you take 4, but for double the amount of time. So you can get credits a lot quicker. And then I found out in that school I could also take classes online. So I took that math class online, and I basically just cheated myself to graduation. But I graduated early, so like it's fine.
It doesn't matter. No, right. What was your mindset back then? What did you want to do in your future?
I had no idea. All I knew is that I didn't want to go to college, again, because my brother's 2 years ahead of me. He went to college. He ended up dropping out. I watched, obviously, his entire class go to college, and you would go into one subject, and then you're like, I don't want to do that. You'd go into another subject. Oh, I don't want to do that. You're now in debt, like whatever it is. So, yeah. But I never knew what I wanted to do. I was just like, I'll just work until I figure it out.
And at a certain point, you did figure it out, and you knew what you wanted to do, I think?
I actually don't think that I got to a point where I decided what I wanted to do, or like that I had a passion for something until like now, actually. But the way that it played out, so I was living in my car. I ended up taking my car and just kind of traveling the US for a bit. And then when I came back to Nebraska, I moved in with my best friend at the time. I got a job at a Mexican restaurant, whatever. And then one day I was just standing there, and I was like, if there was a way that I could get paid for my work ethic versus per hour, I would cook everybody, because I always worked so hard. Like, I was like, why am I working so freaking hard and we're getting paid the same? Like, that's ridiculous. So I actually remember exactly where I was standing when I had this thought. So I went on TikTok, and I was just like, how do you make an income online? Like, I don't know how you guys kind of like got into this space and stuff. But I think a lot of people, they get into the entrepreneur space that way, like just Googling and, whatever. And so I found this girl that she's like, oh, I trade, da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, that's sick. So I just got into trading. And then a bit after got into digital marketing. And yeah, but at the time I didn't actually have a passion for it. I was just doing it because I didn't have a passion for what I was currently doing. So I was like, I have literally nothing to lose to try and change it.
And did it already worked out back then?
Like, how do you mean?
The trading?
Yeah, so like 3 months in, I started to see consistent profits, like nothing crazy, but I think for me, because I'm so easily detached, like especially from money, I don't know, it was kind of just easy for me to grasp the concept. And I can remove emotion easily.
Emotional regulation.
Yeah, so it was very easy for me, which I thought that's just kind of how it was going to be for everybody. But like experiencing what I've experienced now, that's a very special, like I'm a very special experience that doesn't happen for most people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah, of course.
And I think recently, like tying into that concept, sorry, I feel like I'm just yapping.
That's the whole point of the podcast.
Tying into that concept, I think especially a lot recently, I've realized that I'm just a very, I don't want to say like very special, like being to experience, but I've realized that I'm actually not like a lot of people. And I think for a really long time, I was very angry because I was just like, I thought I was like everybody else, and I didn't understand why people didn't understand. It's like what we were talking about when we went to, I don't remember the question that you asked me, but you were like, it was like, what would you work on, or what would you change, or what are you working on, or whatever. And I said like, compassion in my patience, or patience in my compassion, or something like that. It was something about just having more patience in my compassion towards other people. Yeah. And it like, that's why. It's because now I've realized that, not that I'm better than anyone, like that's not what I'm saying, but like the way that I experience the world is very unique, and like it's okay that other people don't understand. It's not my job to make other people understand.
True, and now we are where we left last time. Okay, so you said you wanted to have patience in your compassion, or the other way around, compassion in your patience.
It's both. I feel like it's both.
Yeah,
But it's more just like patience in my compassion. Like allow myself to give compassion to other people and just like be patient. Like you don't have to get other people to understand it. You know what I mean? Regardless of what it is.
Are you living in a lonely world right now?
A lonely world. I would say I'm alone, but I would definitely say I'm not lonely.
Would you like more people around you? More people who understand you?
Yeah. I mean, I think human beings in general are like, we need companionship.
We're social animals. It's a
Yeah.
fact.
I'm actually I'm gonna take it back. I do think I'm lonely, but I feel like I'm not unhappy with the fact that I'm lonely, if that makes sense.
Do you feel misunderstood a lot of times?
I do feel really misunderstood.
Does that bother you?
Not so much anymore, again, because I like, especially in the recent past, I've just realized that it's not my job to make other people understand. And like, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm. You said that people are like social animals. I said it as well. Yet you say you are lonely, but you're happy with the fact that you're lonely.
Yeah, because I know that everything has a period of time. Like everything just kind of comes and goes. So it's like if I choose to just be unhappy in certain periods because it's not what I want. Like I'm victimizing myself to myself. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have periods where it's not necessarily what you would prefer, but you're probably going through it because you have some type of development, or there's something you need to learn, or you just need to experience, or like maybe it can just be what it is. Like there doesn't have to be a lesson, you know?
Yeah.
Is this also because of the mindset that everything is an experience?
Yeah, exactly.
What does your ideal future look like within 5 years?
To be honest, I don't have it specifically mapped out, like at all, but I think that's because, that's such a good question. Because of my entrepreneurship journey, like in entrepreneurship, they tell you need to have a vision. You need to know where you're going. You need to because if I'm trying to get somewhere, like in Bali, if I'm trying to go to my house and I don't have a map, like I'm not going to be able to get there. Do you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm just driving in circles with I'm just going to be driving in circles forever. So you have to have a vision. So I made all these visions and da-da-da-da-da. And then I just realized that it didn't matter how much I tried to map it out, but it never actually went the way that I wanted it to. And because it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go, I was being very hard on myself because I was like I'm doing everything in order, but everything turned out anyways. So I'm just like, I might as well just let it flow. Like, and whatever happens. Like if there's something specific, like I've been tackling with the fact of like wanting kids. So like, I would like to see kids in my future. But it's like when it happens, who it happens. Like I'm not like, it doesn't need to be planned out. Like I just want to live my life and let my life plan it out. Yeah.
If I would ask the question, where does this, I would say calmness, we could name it calmness, come from? Would the answer be the same as where did this reaction of where did this reaction of reacting to situations came from?
So my calmness.
Do you think it's the same? Do you think this calmness comes from the fact that your mom made you self-sufficient?
No, I think because my mom made me so self-sufficient, I was very angry. It actually made me very angry because I ended up doing everything in my life by myself because I could always do it better than anybody else. So I was very bad at delegation, which is crazy as an entrepreneur. I was very, very bad at delegation. I think the calmness... I don't know where the calmness comes from. I think it's actually just release of that anger, to be honest.
Would you say you're an emotional person?
Yeah, I would say I'm emotional, but I would also say that it's not surface level.
All right. I've got a set of pretty deep questions, vulnerable questions. I'm not sure if it's a setting to ask them. You tell me. When is the last time you cried?
Like recently. I mean, I couldn't tell you why. I think probably on my way to Bali. Either on my way or before I left, because I went back to Nebraska for like a week or whatever. And I think in my recent life, like literally within the last 3 weeks to a month, I've let a lot of things go that I was trying to control because I was like, this is what I need to be doing. This is what I need to be doing, instead of just like letting it flow. And just like allowing myself to let that go made me really emotional because you've put a lot of like time and effort and like you're walking away from people and income and impact and like purpose. So yeah, I cried about that. And I think within that experience of just like being emotional about that, again, feeling that like I'm alone again and misunderstood. But the thing is like, I'm alone anyways, because it doesn't matter if I have a lot of people around me. If I still feel misunderstood, like the amount of people around you doesn't make you feel less lonely, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So, but I don't suppress like crying anymore. I used to, like, I'd be like, don't cry, like that's weakness.
Crying and rejecting emotion are two different things, I would say. I've asked a set of some pretty deep questions. Also, when we got coffee, it said that we weren't recording, and you've had an answer to everything. And I've got the feeling that you are consciously or unconsciously staying on the surface.
Like, how do you mean?
With some people, you can pop through a certain wall. You know what I mean? You can pop through them. You can get to the core, dive deep. But with you, I've got the feeling that you're, like I said, you're consciously or unconsciously staying on the surface, not letting that happen.
Is that a question?
No, it's... Do you think the same? Do you think that you are doing this?
Yes. I think... I think I know that I crave a certain capacity of mental stimulation, if that makes sense.
Could you reword it? Because my English is not that good.
I crave a...
I know what you mean, but I don't know how to say it in Dutch.
Say it again, maybe?
I crave a certain level of mental stimulation.
And what
so
kind of
like,
stimulation?
I don't like pointless conversations. Like, I'm just like, why are we talking? Like, this is so just like pointless in the human experience. Like,
Is this
Like
pointless?
that sucks the energy out of you.
yeah. So it's just like, I would rather just not engage at all.
So
I can relate to that.
Are you saying that this is that kind of conversation?
What, like a mentally stimulating conversation?
No, not a mentally stimulation.
I would say that, this is mentally stimulating because, like, we're talking about experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like shared opinions. Like, I will definitely walk away, even from the conversation we had earlier at the coffee shop when we weren't filming. Obviously, we were at the coffee shop. But I'll walk away thinking about stuff from a different perspective and decide if I apply it or not. So, like, even that conversation is, like, mentally stimulating. For example, playing the card game. Do you know the card game? Like, that to me, I'm just like what? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Discussing what kind of cookies to get.
I had a question, but I lost it, I think. I got it. So when you've got a conversation like that, you said you will think if you apply it or not. Do you apply different perspectives a lot?
I don't know if this is how you mean, but I will hint at something and I'll see how receptive someone is. And if they're not receptive, then I'm just like...
Okay. And do you think that's happening? That I'm receptive or Mace is receptive?
I mean, I haven't really talked to Mace that much. I think, again, because of that comment that you made, I knew, like in the temple, I knew that you were to some level receptive. Like there's certain behaviors that you have that I've picked up on that I'm also like, I don't know. But the conversation that we had at the coffee shop now, like I definitely see that you are very receptive to certain things. Like I said, it makes sense that you work in
Psychiatry.
Psychiatry, psychologist, whatever it is. Like that makes sense because of your level of receptivity.
Okay.
And also the level to which you pay attention. Paying attention is like such a... People do not pay attention at all to like little things. Do you know what I'm saying?
In your life, you felt a lot of abandonment or, how do you say it? Betrayal, right?
Yeah.
Does that make you ignorant towards other people? You've also said, I can obviously do it better. That doesn't always work out good in business.
I think it definitely takes opportunity away from other people, which I don't know if that actually makes it worse. Because it's like I now know that that's happening and like I choose to do it by myself.
No, I think it's better when you're conscious about it.
But if
Because
you're
then you can do
conscious
something
about it and you're still taking that opportunity away from other people,
But do you?
maybe that's what it is. Like I prefer to be just by myself because I don't want to be the one to take that opportunity away from other people because I know.
No, I think that if you're conscious that you can intercept that pattern in your head.
You think?
Yeah. I definitely think because if you're not conscious about it, then you cannot change it. You cannot do anything because you don't even know it's happening because it's unconsciously. But if you're consciously doing it, then you can also be ahead of it. Maybe still do it, but be ahead of it and realize that you're doing it in the moment. So when we have a conversation at the coffee shop, I think you already push that border a little bit further. I think with those conversations or with those steps, you can push that border further if you're conscious about it and maybe change that behavior.
But I think it just comes down to being a choice. Like, for example, smoking a cigarette, like that obviously little by little it's going to kill you. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and you choose to do it anyways. Like now you know. So it just comes down to making the choice of not doing it or just
Doing it, yeah.
being like, okay, yeah, I know
True.
it's doing it and I'm going to choose to. That's actually how I ended up losing a lot of weight. It was because my brother came to me and he's like, you're fat. And I was like, well, I'm not like willing to do anything about it right now. So I would rather just like love myself where I am. And then I started to lose weight because I just like accepted it. And made the decision.
Yeah, so that means that you can make the decisions and change things.
But don't you think it's like, it's worse if you're just like, yeah, I'm fat. And then you continue to hate on yourself for it.
Yeah, of course that's bad. Of course that's bad. But I think that if you're conscious about it, then you can make the change.
Well, you can make the change, but
If you're not willing to do it,
not to,
yeah, true. But that's the thing. Like, then you can choose. But if you're not conscious about it, if it's in your unconsciousness, then you don't know. Then you can't change. Then you can make the decision if you do it or don't do it.
But if you don't know, then it's not on you. If you do know and you choose not to change,
Then it's on you. But do you want it to change? Because you said that you was willing to work on it. Patience for your compassion. Passion for your compassions.
this is true.
That compassion for your patients, does that also come from some of the backlash you received? Because in your story you said when you were like pursuing this online income that you got a lot of backlash from people in your surrounding. People who were saying mean things to you because of that.
So what, like, did my patient compassion come from that experience?
Yeah.
Or, no, I think my patient compassion is like very recent. I feel like I have been very like operating out of anger, like not up forth, but like inside I was just very angry. Like I was like, I'm going to prove my point. Like I'm going to be successful so I can like I had something to prove, you know? So I don't think that it came from that. I think just like having that feeling of not having to get people to understand me is where it came from. And like that internal sense of like, I'm actually okay with who I am. And just because other people don't understand me, I don't have to get them to understand me. And like, I don't have to change and come down or up to their level to get them to understand me, if that makes sense.
Let's go back to the structure. Because this is, yeah, I think it's nice actually to do the podcast in English because it's much easier to go into depth in your mother language for me.
Yeah.
Because you understand things better, you can formulate things better, you know the words better. And this improves it a lot. Yeah, and I have to pay even more attention than I already do. It's nice.
To what is being said, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's the same for you?
I was reading the structure. I wasn't paying attention.
Do you think it's nice to do the podcast in English because you have to pay even more attention because you have to...
This was the perfect example.
Sure,
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah, I have to pay extra attention because we do it in English.
It improves your English as well, I think.
Yeah, the only thing is that my vocabulary in Dutch is obviously a
Much
lot
larger.
bigger. So it's a lot easier to express what I'm trying to say.
That's just what I said, exactly.
And I think you are a little bit more like articulate than me, like better in saying, like articulating what you think. And I'm like thinking and I'm like thinking about how can I say this? How can I say this? And that's in English even more. So it has a positive and a negative side.
Yeah, true.
I want to get back to the business part a little more. Because you started pursuing like an online income. You started searching, how can I earn money online? You started trading. What was the time when this business took off? And did you have any failures along the way?
I don't believe in failure. I believe in
learning
lessons.
opportunities.
That's such an entrepreneur thing to say. So because I was trying to grow a business in the trading space, because I was an affiliate for a company at the time, And I was so bad at it. Like when I first started, I didn't post on TikTok. I actually really hated social media because of what I believe it does to the human mind, which I still believe that, but it's like if it can do that to the human mind, it can also do
Good things.
Yeah.
You know? So my first year in network marketing, which is a form of sales, I made like maybe $800. Like I was just very not good at it. And then from there, I switched companies because I was like, if I'm trading and I'm making an income from that, like if I feel like the company is not what I'm aligned with, like I'm going to move. And again, it's not like I know what I'm going to move to. It's more of I know what I'm moving away from because I know what I don't want, but I don't necessarily know what I want to move towards. So some of the leadership in the company that I had been in moved to a different company. So I moved over to that company as well. And that's the company where I went 6 figures and then multiple 6 figures just off of sales and branding. And I always say like, I blew up accidentally on purpose, or I blew up accidentally, but of course it's all intentional. But I just don't like, there's times when things just go wrong. Like for example, I was telling you guys earlier, like you couldn't follow me. Nobody could follow me for 2 weeks. Like my blue check mark evaporated into thin air. Like all these things, people can't message me. The automation stops working. Like all these things go wrong. And even last night I was sitting on my bed and I'm just laughing because what are you going to do? Like literally, what are you going to do? Do you know what I mean? So I think that's just kind of how I operated in business. Like something goes wrong and it's just like, how can I pivot? Like that's it. How can I learn from this? And because I was so just like, I wanted to learn from everything as quickly as I could. I went decently fast, I guess. Yeah, I don't remember the original question, but we move.
Yes.
What is 6 figure? I heard it a lot, but I don't know 6, 7
6 figures, like there's 6 digits
in the
income. So it's
okay.
100,000 plus
Okay, I get it.
A year.
a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before you made that money, you said you made $800 in a year?
Yeah. So my first year in sales, I made like $800.
How did you like support yourself? Were you still living out of your car right then?
No. Just like trading income mostly because I was traveling, like trying to grow my business, meeting people, whatever. I had a bit of money saved up because obviously I had worked 3 jobs. But obviously that money ran out really fast. So that's basically what I was living off of, just like trading profits, which weren't as big at the time, and just like saved money. Yeah.
How did you learn to trade? Was it all like online?
Yeah. So basically like, I got plugged into a platform that's like a financial education platform. And so they have like educators and stuff that are professionals in the space, I don't know, like experienced, and they teach you how to trade. And then they'll have tools like you can use AI, or like the trade ideas that I send now, they would do a concept like that. So that's where I pulled that concept from. It was actually those companies.
So now you're doing kind of the same. You're teaching other people to trade.
I don't teach people how to trade. I just send them ideas. Like I tell them what I'm trading, you can take it or you can't. I used to teach people how to trade even one-on-one, but I don't anymore because I just like, it didn't really fulfill me. People complain a lot. Like people always want to put the blame on you or on, so I'm just like, why am I doing that? You know what I mean? I'm obviously not operating from my best sense of self. So it's like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I will say, because it's kind of tied into the last question you asked me, but my mom actually came to me because I was really struggling that year. She came to me and she actually offered to help me financially. And I was like, no, I don't want you to help me financially, like at all, because if you help me, it's not like, I didn't take it as like you're telling me that you don't believe in me, but you're not going to put me in a position to have to fight for my life. You know what I mean? And I think everybody, like, you have to get to a point where you just hit that rock bottom and you're just like, what do I do? Do you know what I mean? Like I have to pull myself out of this hole. So if you have people coming to you, like helping you up, again, it's that self-sufficiency thing. So. Yeah.
Does it fulfill you now, what you're doing?
No and yes. Like, because I'm not actually teaching people, like I don't get to see the excitement of people actually learning a concept. Of course, I get to see people excited that they've made money, whatever, because it's copy paste. Like, it's a very simple concept. But what I actually get fulfillment in is like helping people grow a brand, or like, yeah, like branding, sales. So whether I build a course on that or not, I don't know. For now, I just help people do that for free because I just like, actually, I enjoy it.
That's why you're here in the first place.
Yeah, that's literally why I'm here today in the first place. Yeah, so that's it. But I think you can, like, even at the, where were we? I think it was open house. When we were at open house the other day, because I haven't really been like talking, but when I started talking about that, I'm just like, you can do this and this and this. And I was like, you can tell that I'm actually excited about it because I actually enjoy it and I'm actually very good at it. Like, so, yep.
You have any other questions?
No.
I think
I'm still on the way back. That's the downside of an English podcast, I would say.
that you're a
English
bit slow.
Yeah, but it's maybe it's also that the people that we spoke to here. I'm so flabbergasted by almost everyone's life on Bali. That I start rethinking my whole life. So it's nice that we have an impact on people, but it's also the other way around.
Yeah, it also makes me think.
Yeah,
So that's nice.
the Bali effect. Let's just call it the Bali effect.
Yeah. If you could say something to your 16-year-old self who was like going to rehab, what would you say to her?
Good fucking question.
I would probably just say, like, what you are looking for is inside of you. That's it. Like, I feel like I lived a lot of my life. I felt like I was like gasping for air, like, you know? And I was just like trying to look for the answer to like all these things externally instead of just like internalizing it. And I feel like, because my life experience was going to happen, whether it happened like this, like my life experience was just going to happen anyways. So to just like have the ability to just like have peace through the process earlier on. But it's tough because people ask me all the time, or like I feel like they feel bad for me, or like I tell them my story and they're just like in shock, or, you know, or like they feel sympathetic, whatever. If my life hadn't have gone the way that it did, down to the T, like even me giving someone a compliment at a random coffee shop, or like someone hitting my car or whatever, like down to a T, I wouldn't be in the position that I am today. And to be honest, like I wouldn't want to change my situation. Like I wouldn't want to change lives with anyone. So I can't, like, I wouldn't change anything, you know? So I would just say, like, if you're going to go through life experience, like, just have peace, internalize it. Yeah.
That's the same message as the previous guest.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the butterfly effect?
Yeah, like everything affects everything.
Yeah.
Like a ripple.
So even butterfly flapping its wings makes wind, and that can like set off a
Chain reaction.
of
ton of other actions.
things, and much bigger things can change because of that. Yeah, it made me think about it, because you said like everything happened down to a T, and if like something like someone hitting your car, or you giving someone a compliment at a coffee shop didn't happen, then you wouldn't be where you are at right now. I think that's, yeah.
It's, that concept is so weird, because then it comes down to like free will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's, but also because I've actually thought about like the butterfly effect a lot, and just like the ripple, and like it almost pains me to think about it too much, because you're just like, you just start overthinking everything. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like I know it's there, and I'm just like, yeah, I appreciate it, but like can't think about it too much.
Yeah.
Do you keep that in mind when making choices?
Like the butterfly effect, like how it's going to affect other things.
Yeah.
100%. But again, it just goes back to what I said earlier. Like, you just have to know that you have a good heart and you're living your life through compassion, or like you're showing compassion and you're having like patience with people, and that you actually have good intention, because what you put out into the world will come back tenfold, always. Positive energy, negative energy, like whatever it is. And I'm not saying go do positive stuff so you can get positive stuff in return. Like, become that person, because you have to vibrate on that frequency, obviously. But you just can't, like, you end up living your whole life feeling like you're tiptoeing, because you're just like, what if I do this and it affects this person like this? And what if I do that? Like, just have a good freaking heart and just live your life. Like, just be a good person. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It just stresses me out too much. So I'm just like, in the inside, even I can't control how other people are receptive to me. And especially because I have a brand, like I get hate comments all the time, and it's like, they don't even know me. So whatever, like, it doesn't bother me, but I can't make other people believe one thing about me or be receptive to who I am as a human being. So I'm just like, I don't even need to get you to understand that I'm a good person. It goes back to that understanding thing, you know, like, I don't feel the need to make you understand how I am and how I process as a human being. So, yeah.
I think you said it great, and also like everything most things you said tie in with other things you said, because I think that's good. That shows that you've thought about it. And then I would go on to the last question, if you don't have any more questions.
Yeah, I would like to ask it. What advice would you give to the listener?
Final piece of advice.
Like, just any advice.
Advice. What you highly believe in.
What's the most important piece of advice you could give?
Be a good person.
I feel like believe in the vibration of who you want to become much sooner. So like, a lot of people, they'll be like, just like, believe in yourself, like, just believe in yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, believe in yourself sooner, think bigger sooner, like all this stuff. But obviously everything in life is a vibration. So if you can figure out what vibration, like the person that you are trying to become or the person that you want to become, like, and it can even be like love, like it can be an emotion, like it can be love, whatever it is that you're trying to attract, like, be intentional about attracting and becoming that vibration. Yeah, that's what I would say. I think everything is frequency. So when you can figure out how to tap into certain frequencies, like, you can attract anything that you want into your life. So.
All right. I think that's a nice message.
Yes. Thank you.
Summarize the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for being spontaneous enough to jump on the podcast within an hour or something.
I appreciate you guys for having me.
Of course.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at It's Cristina Becker.
Zonder H in Cristina.
Yeah. No H in Cristina, no K in Becker.
Exactly. All right.
Then I would say, stay inspired, motivated, and focused on your goals. Thanks for listening to Muscle Up, and see you in the next episode.